of the year. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the playoffs, it's win or go home, so the team that plays the best in the 3.5 hours of the game, the team that's going to, move on. But, for us in this team, it's always serious. It's always handled with intent, whether it's meetings or practice or taking care of your body. So it's nice to be a part of a team that doesn't take anyone lightly, doesn't think of anyone too much. Just goes out there and handles our business.
How beneficial was it for you to have not only this last week of rest, but also to be able to sit out in Week 18?
Yeah, great. More rest, the better. Obviously, bodies feel fresh, feel ready to go. So anytime you get a chance to recover, that's why getting that one seed is so valuable.
You're starting to feel that itch to get back out there though and playing a game?
Definitely. How's the cast? Feel great.
Christian, Kyle said you've probably been one of the most dialed-in players back from when you learned Pop Warner. Is that pretty much the same mentality that you had back then till now?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I think, I've always tried to handle my business professionally, and I had a great older brother, a dad who did it the right way for a long time in the league, a great mom, and, 2 younger brothers who always pushed me, and we kind of pushed each other. So I think everybody on this team handles things with intent. And, I don't know if it's more than anyone else. I think there's a way to do it as far as, the way I see it and playing the running back position and what it takes. And I just try to handle it, do as much as possible so I can be the best player I can.
How many times have you seen that clip of yourself?
I've seen it a lot. Yeah, I was playing on my older brother's team in that clip, and they told me to do that. And obviously, being the younger kid on the team, I couldn't say no.
Nice instinctive move to kind of duck, to miss the guy.
Yeah, those mascots were hitting. That was no joke.
The question that Jen asked you about, what Forrester said about you, he compared your kind of preparation to the likes of Peyton Manning, Jonathan Ogden. Kind of when you hear those comparisons, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, that's a huge compliment. I think obviously you have to be prepared in order to play in a football game, and for me, like I said, it just takes what it takes, and so whatever that is, whether it's doing a little extra body work or studying a little extra, whatever it takes to make you feel confident on Sunday or whenever the game is, that's what I try to do.
Christian, no team knows better than this one the amount of work it takes to get back to the playoffs, the climb that you have to go through every year. What is your sense of just kind of the urgency in this locker room now to get over the hump and get this thing done?
Yeah, it's I think it's been urgency since OTAs, and I think that's how we've handled ourselves this whole entire time. And we knew there was going to be some bumps in the road. There always is, and just have to be a mature team and learn from mistakes, capitalize on your strengths, and just keep going. And then when it comes to the game, just let it loose and be us.
Did you feel more juice in the locker room now that you're finally here, back on the postseason doorstep? Or?
And it's funny, I feel juice in this locker room every week. I don't think, obviously the playoffs, this matters, and I think guys are obviously extremely anxious to get out there on that field and play and excited. But that's what's so cool about this team is whether it was week 4, week 10, or the divisional round. Love this team. They come ready to go. Wednesday practice, Thursday, whatever it is, they're ready to go.
Kyle was saying that said before that he doesn't see one possession as being any more important than the other. But you guys have had a knack of scoring touchdowns in the first drive a lot. And does that first left jab, for lack of a better term, mean something in games when you were able to do that?
I think each game is different. Each play has a life of its own. But I think whenever you do that, it means a lot, but it's definitely not over. I think, I go back to the Philly game where we didn't score the first 2 or 3 possessions, and it took us a while to get going. Whatever the game brings us, it's just important for us to be prepared for every situation and play one play at a time.
You haven't faced the Packers in about 5 years, so what strikes you about when you see their defense?
They're a great defense. I think they fly around, they play well. Got a great D-line, great backers, great secondary. So for us, it's just about going out there and executing.
You aware that 220 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns is the standard for putting on a running back playoff game here against them?
Raheem had a great one. I definitely have seen that one, but that was 5 years ago. So, a lot of things changed in 5 years. We're going to have to bring it every single snap, every single play. See what happens.
It's kind of a classic matchup in, Green Bay, San Francisco going at it in the postseason. What's kind of your sense of the history of the matchup?
in his place?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fun to look at that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's us versus them. It's the 2023 Niners against the 2023 Packers, and 2024 now. You know, it's about playing one play at a time, executing on each possession, and you know, just going out there taking care of the ball and playing with urgency and energy.
What would you say Kyle has done to, like Nick alluded to climb the mountain every single year and to get to like this far? You know, how has Kyle kind of kept the focus, kept the motivation, just kind of kept that drive to be at this point, kind of year after year?
I think what Kyle does such a good job of is making it about the football. I think a lot of times you can get caught up in a lot of emotions with the playoffs and it's win or go home and this and that, but at the end of the day, it's all about football. It's all about the ball. It's about the X's and O's. It's about executing on every play, and he makes it about that. And that's what I think you enjoy. Because whatever those emotions you have of the outside, of, you know, this is a bigger game than others. Whatever it may be, he kind of squashes that with the intent of executing the play that's called. And when you're focused on that, you're not worried about any other outside emotion. So for us, it's all about football and execution and doing your job on every play.
How have you seen Brock grow? Can you do a couple more with those plays when he first got traded to where he is now? What have you seen in his growth?
I've just seen, you know, someone who's been the same guy since the day I met him, competitive as ever. Willing to learn all the time, great leader, and one of the best players in the NFL. So it's just been cool to see how he's kind of taken all of the doubts and criticisms that have gone his way and proved every single person wrong week in and week out. So lucky he's on our team.
Has anyone taken your golf clubs out for swinging during the bye week?
I don't think so, no. I think that's an off-season activity.
I know you guys aren't surprised about Brock Purdy's performance, but when you look at how every other quarterback in the playoffs is a first-round pick, does it make it even more impressive?
I think what he's done is impressive, whether he's a first rounder or not. He's putting up numbers that are impressive for first rounders, and so, like, yeah, to your point, definitely impressive. But at some point, it's not surprising. At some point, it's just who he is. He's a hell of a player, and when he's been great as often as he has, it becomes routine. And I think that's what makes the greats great, is they do it all the time, and that's exactly what he's done.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.